last week ended with price probe to the upside, and as of now higher prices are being accepted in the overnight. We are balancing just below all-time highs and above the spike base, so fairly balanced area. Tested twice the highs and now testing second time the lows. The high is poor overall, 4 TPOs there. The low is better looking, and profile shape is more skewed to the upside, so higher prices are more in favor than lower prices. So let's go back and look how bigger time frames look. Monthly we are one time framing higher, but within February range, not extending higher. Weekly balancing around the highs. We started one time framing higher, but overall I think I should treat it as balance until we can extend above this previous high. Daily we are now balancing within today's balance. We had this gap which was filled and got rejected. Here I have marked this as balance, but maybe now as we tested all-time highs, I should adjust it to look something like this when the volatility picked up. Maybe this is our new composite balance range. So once more looking at the daily, but on the profiles we are fairly above latest high volume node, and if we drop back lower, this is the first biggest speed bump. On the way lower, next would be around 38.45 or so. Let's just check implied volatility. Weekly range is quite tight, around 74 points, so if we trade to the upside, it is limited potential to get around 4,000, maybe slightly higher, but not much more. To the downside, we can test 20-day moving average around 38.70, but for today we had 30 points on Friday, and it's going to be slightly lower when we open. I have 24 points as of now, so it can be like 23 or 24 within 1 hour when we're going to open. Looking at profiles, we are fairly extended on this rally from the lows, and now since we are balancing, we can correct this inventory a little bit. On a combined today balance, we see that lower prices were accepted more than those higher ones, and we have poor low and a little bit of excess around the highs, but it is not that great looking excess. So what can we expect today? I think that today might be quite calm, and until Opex we shouldn't have any big surprises when it comes to price action. So I will be looking how this level reacts. Maybe if we dip lower and reject from here I can enter long to get back higher to test overnight point of control, yesterday's high, and finally all-time highs. If we trade a little bit lower, I'm going to be interested around those prices. Here you can see this bump on volume, that volume is tapering. So if we trade around here, but this low is looking really enticing to test it, so I think I would rather see us testing below that low, getting rejection from those prices, and then maybe enter long when we reject them. But this is going to be a little bit harder than this one. And to the downside, if we trade higher early on and start failing around yesterday's high, around overnight point of control, so if we create an excess here, I'd like to trade lower to get to this area, and if we can get lower than traverse value area from Friday. Not sure about this trade. When we start building acceptance within yesterday's range, then maybe enter on a retest of this area. Probably a good trade. If we start trading higher, then that means that higher prices are starting being accepted. If we reject higher prices, then I'd like to enter short, or if we retest without this price testing higher, I can trade to the short side. If we get higher above overnight highs, then I'm also not that inclined to short, because at this point we will be above yesterday's highs, so higher prices should remain for the day, and I much rather buy pullbacks to get higher than to fade any rally attempts. That when value is clearly higher, then I'm not that likely to short new highs. If we get below this poor low, or if we test it and bounce, for example, if an impulsive move that stalls here, and if I can get a pullback from this area, then I will enter short to clean this, but I would have to get a defined risk. So maybe if we start one time framing lower, and break of one time framing would be my stop loss on that trade, then I'd like to test this area, because if we break those lows, we will be then rejecting those prices, and maybe we can trade to this high volume node, and well, we can cascade lower if if I get enough luck on that trade. But the big area for support would be this 38.90, which was in play for a while earlier on. But overall, I think that our session can be quite calm and without bigger surprises today.